Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Ultimate Doctor Who Marathon on today, the 6th of October, 2017, as we begin a very, very special story, The Power of the Daleks, the first story to feature someone else playing the Doctor. We begin today with Episode 1. This story was written, of course, by David Whittaker, and his script is excellent. Mainly, that's what the score of this episode is going to be based on, due to the fact that the episode is missing. And it's not really, and I've been watching via the official BBC animated reconstruction. Again, two very good ways of watching it, just using animation or the telesnap reconstruction. It's really your choice. How I decided that I would go with the animation, and I have to say, this episode is excellent. We keep the story going from the 10th planet where the Doctor falls on the floor, and basically finds himself. He's found himself to basically no longer be the Doctor. He comes up and it's revealed that this new guy refers to himself in the third person, is wearing completely different clothes, and is acting completely different, and Polly believes it's the Doctor, but Ben is in a bit of a shock, and it is this dynamic that really helps the episode go. The first half of the episode is mainly dedicated to that, and that is, I believe, the right move. It doesn't get at all, it doesn't come it doesn't really cause any problems for the story. It introduces the story very well. Well, it gets us to know, who is this guy? He goes around the TARDIS and acts all different, and it's great. Patrick Troughton does a great performance based on just the voice alone. Maybe hopefully I can see some more. Maybe if I can, in future recons, we can either get clips, because there are quite a few episodes that don't exist before we get to an existing episode, so we have that to look forward to, but yeah, for one now I can tell Troughton's going to be a good Doctor. He is great as it is, and then we spend about 12 minutes in the TARDIS before we get onto the planet Vulcan, where the Doctor finds this new Doctor finds a dead body, and immediately loots the body, takes a badge, explaining that this guy is an examiner from Earth, and the planet is called Vulcan. The swamps are filled with mercury, and the colonists believe them. On the planet, this scientist, Lesterson, has found a capsule, and the tension is trying to get, do we open the capsule? And it isn't until the evening where we get to the cliffhanger where it's revealed that the Daleks are laying dormant inside the capsule, which is very interesting. Polly and Ben, of course, don't take the Daleks seriously, and they don't really believe the Doctor is the Doctor, just because he's not acting like himself, and Polly still isn't entirely convinced. So we have the big cliffhanger is that the Daleks are here, out of power. They all supposedly, and then big cliffhanger is one of this mutated thing just sort of scuttles off into the distance, and Ben and Polly and the Doctor notice it and freak out, and that's the end of the episode. And it's basically showing that the Daleks are still alive. And I have to say, Annika Wills, Michael Craze, and Patrick Troughton are all excellent. Annika Wills and Michael Craze especially have great chemistry with each other, and they work off each other very well, considering they are dealing with this quote-unquote new Doctor who they don't quite know yet. They don't even know if he's really the Doctor, or if he is, if he's just a faker, someone who they can't really trust. Do they trust this guy? Do they not trust this guy? Who knows? That is really where the crux of the story comes in, and that's what's really propelling us for the first episode. And David Whittaker's script is great. It deals with a lot of, it deals with a lot of the trappings of that. It's we don't know, do we trust this Doctor, or do we not trust him? Who knows? It's I have to say, this is the best. This is, I believe, the first time The Power of the Daleks, episode 1, gets a 10 out of 10, mainly because it is just a great way to open the story, get us introduced to the new Doctor in a new way, and get us going. It's the first episode since the Daleks Master Plan episode 12 to actually get a 10 out of 10, and I think that's deserving. Hopefully, the story keeps it up. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 9th of October 2017, and I will start by apologizing for not having watched a couple of episodes in a couple of days, but sadly, I got extremely busy over the last 3 days, and I was unable to watch any episodes. But we have episode 2, which continues the strength of the story, let's be honest. The story is already shaping up to be probably some of the best that we have for the best that we have that we've had in a while. I mean, we already have 2 episodes that I believe are perfection. What's nice is that you still have Ben and Polly. Ben, in particular, not trusting the Doctor, and he really has good reason not to. I mean, it makes sense considering that everything that they have, gone through, that they don't quite trust the Doctor in his entirety yet. But you get this feeling that that the Doctor knows exactly what he's doing. Like, Patrick Troughton plays the character with this sense of, I'm a good person, really, but I'm just sort of, but I'm not, I'm gonna be screwing with you all, and you'll never quite know where the Doctor is. Like, is he being serious, or is he just being essentially just silly? That is the question. Is the Doctor, can we trust him? Do we not trust him? Who knows? It is a great way of doing it. Like, a lot of this episode is, people in the colony have bugged a fruit of the Doctor, that they gave to the Doctor, Ben and Polly, so the Doctor starts acting all weird, but he acts, even though he's acting weird, part of him also acts like, am I really being weird? Or am I just being weird, as a way to screw with people? Who knows? And I really enjoy that sort of, yeah, he might be good, he might be totally crazy, we just can't be sure of it. We really, really can't. It's a good way to, give us, like, it's a good way to make the Doctor feel like he might just be, that he might just be screwing with everybody. And I really enjoy that portrayal of the character. Like, he knows something's going on, and you really feel that the Doctor is going to be causing a bunch of, like, chaos and fear as everything just sort of is ramping itself up, sort of, to become the entire way that the story is doing it. You feel like everything is gonna be quite just a little less trustworthy. Like, you don't know quite where it's going, and it could be good. So you have the big revelation that the Daleks recognize the Doctor at the end, and that is the cliffhanger with this really brilliant scene of the Dalek coming in. It's brilliantly done on animation, too. It's basically saying, I am your servant, as it recognizes the Doctor. And that's what sort of tips Ben off to that this is the Doctor. And it's things like that that really make me enjoy this episode. So much so that I'm going to give Power of the Daleks Episode 2 a 10 out of 10. It is now the 10th of October 2017, and I just finished watching Episode 3 of The Power of the Daleks. And this is where we actually get to see some of the connivingness of the Daleks, so to speak. You have, picking up right where Episode 2 left off, the Daleks are acting all shifty. This one Dalek says it's your servant, but it meant immediately it after some testing by Lesterson just to basically be like, yeah, I know chemistry and science and stuff. It basically is just like, oh, it's gonna. Lesterson goes off. It's like then it takes the power. It turns up the power and, well, it makes the other two Daleks come to life. So now we have 3 Daleks roaming around. And that is honestly a little creepy, and no one wants to listen to the Doctor, and that's really where a lot of the thrust of the story comes from. You have nobody listening to the Doctor, as basically he's trying to say, no, the Daleks are gonna, this is not a good idea, we don't want them in control of the colony, because it'll be, well, the end of the colony. I mean, that's really what the story seems to be building up to, is like, we're gonna have this colony and it's going to end. Like, it's going to go down and everything's gonna blow up in the face, in the faces of everybody else. So, I have to say, it's gonna be interesting to see, at least, to see where everything seems to go. I'm very much interested in what's going to happen. Like, I mean, Polly, we have with the Daleks. With the Daleks are really only half of this story. The other half is that there are the rebels on the colony. They end up kidnapping Polly. Like, Polly goes missing, gets kidnapped halfway through this episode when she's looking for the Doctor, and it's revealed that Reagan was the one who probably murdered the Examiner in episode 1. So we have a lot of things getting ready, and a lot of things building up towards at least a mid-section, you could say. It's not quite a conclusion, but we are at very much getting closer to a middle of the episode, middle of the story section for the plot, and I want to see where we go from here. I have to say, the animation in this one's a lot better, because there's a lot of scenes with Daleks, and whenever they animate Daleks, the animation the quality of the animation just increases by tenfold, and it looks gorgeous whenever it's Daleks that are being animated. Like, they really know how to do the Daleks as well as Daleks. They work. It works. It's a very, very good animation. And I have to say, it'll be interesting to see quite where the story goes from here, just because we've got the Daleks, but we also have just this feeling that they are going to cause quite a few problems. Yeah, it is. I also have to say is that, anything else that I have to say, is that I love Patrick Troughton's performance in this. He's playing it very, very different from William Hartnell. He's playing the part of the Doctor as just this sort of, you can't really trust him, like, you don't know what's he gonna do next. Is he really trustworthy? Is he even really the Doctor? It's all done for a pretty good effect. You have just this amount of sort of creepiness, slipping in. Yeah, so we have the story going down, and it's great. I'm going to give episode 3 of Power of the Daleks a 10 out of 10 again, because the story isn't losing anything. It's just continuing to be great. Is the 11th of October 2017. I just finished watching The Power of the Daleks episode 4, and the story continues to be just as top-notch as we have the Doctor sort of called out for not really being the Examiner, as he says he was, by Reagan. And the rebels have, of course, captured Polly, and halfway through they also seem to get a hold of Ben as well. But that's actually really good, because we have the Doctor almost like it's making a last stand, And that's really only one half of the plot, however, as we deal with the Daleks themselves becoming this extremely credible threat to, just to the human race in general. Like, they are ready to take over, pretty much they're coming to take over the world. Like, you have this building, and, like, we get subtle hints that the Daleks, they wanted more power. They need more materials for no real reason other than they say so. So it's extremely creepy when the episode actually ends and we have, the story basically saying that the Daleks have decided that we show Lesterson after being threatened by Janley for killing Resno, who died in episode 2, he actually goes in, sees the Daleks, and sees they are reproducing themselves. They are not like some benevolent race. No, they are reproducing themselves, and they are arming themselves. Like, we are getting close to the point where everything's going to sort of... I feel like this is the point where we're building towards an actual finale of the story, where we're getting ready to hit the fan, and everything is probably just going to start falling apart from here on out. So I'm going to give The Power of the Daleks, Episode 4, a 10 out of 10, because we keep ramping up the tension in a great way that keeps just about everything feeling like we're going somewhere. It is the 12th of October 2017, and I just finished watching The Power of the Daleks Episode 5, which is pretty much, it is preamble to the grand finale, whereas Episode 4 was getting us close to the climax. This is the one where everything is falling right into place, I guess you could say rather nicely, but as a story, as an episode, it continues to be an excellent example of what Doctor Who can do and where everything can go if, Doctor Who really works hard at being mainly a sci-fi show for itself. You have, this is, again, probably, all the episodes of the serial have been pitch perfect so far, and Episode 5 is no exception. You have Lesterson sort of he's descending into madness. He's gone crazy as he sees the Daleks. He tries, and then he realizes, especially now that he realizes he was too late, he basically let the Daleks get out of control. Like, they are in control of the colony. They know exactly what they're doing, and they know exactly where, how they really want things to go. They're going to take over the colony no matter what, and there's nothing that anyone can do to stop them. This point, like, the big cliffhanger at the end of the episode is the Daleks getting ready to destroy all the humans because there's enough fighting amongst themselves. The rebels are planning a takeover of the colony. Hensel is killed. Killed, just straight up shot, and he essentially, he knows, you sort of feel that everything is going to be ending very well. You feel like everything's gonna, it isn't exactly gonna, it's not gonna work out pretty well. You're gonna get, everything's gonna sort of fall apart. You have that real feeling of danger, that everything's coming to a head. The Daleks are very much ready to attack and kill and pretty much just end the lives of everyone, and it is great. I love the way this episode just sort of plays with that. You have, the Daleks really being evil, like, and then you have this weird parallel, like, there's even this sort of sense of, there's just this sense that the Daleks don't understand and just sort of that everything is sort of falling into place. It's a very, very, very good way of sort of having everything fall into place, and you just get this real fear that it's not going to end well for anyone. And I cannot wait to see episode 6. Sadly, I can't watch it today, or else I would. But you get this feeling that everything is going to. Everyone's probably dead by now. Like you feel like there's going to be an explosion, and we are only one episode away from the conclusion. So I think I'll have to give The Power of the Daleks episode 5 another 10 out of 10, just because it continues to be an excellent example of how to do Daleks, how to show a character to be so evil and just conniving. It's great. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 15th of October, 2017, and I feel like I must apologize once again, for not getting this out sooner. Where I am, it is midterms week, so I haven't had nearly as much time to study, to do episodes and study, so I'm trying to strike the balance. But I was able to take a break from studying and actually finish The Power of the Daleks this weekend, yes, with episode 6. I am glad to have at least one story of the Patrick Troughton library down. So yeah, we have episode 6, which I have to say is probably the best episode. It's an episode that it toys with a bunch of really, really good ideas, really strong ideas that you can have a lot of fun with, and it makes the Daleks. It continues the Daleks being the threat. Like, whereas in most of these episodes they've been getting quite a bit of just background and everything. This one really just sort of gives us the feeling that we have the story going to a conclusion. You have the Daleks being extremely terrifying, and we have the Doctor himself actually having, and you have them for the entire story. They are they are just massacring everyone, like, without rhyme or reason, and it feels right. Like, you know that everything is sort of going to, everything is falling, and it's starting out great. Like, you have them, there's a point where you get this really good shot of, it's a shot of everyone the Daleks have killed, and that's only like one part of the story, as the story is also dealing with, the big rebellion, which is probably, it's a bit weaker than most aspects of the story. I have to say, it's pretty weak aspect for the story to be playing around with, but it still gives us something. We have this feeling that everything is falling apart. The world is really gonna be coming to an end here, and I love it. It is great. You have that happening, the Doctor being just as he's being just as weird and as everything, like, and the way you have everyone basically trying to be like, right, we just need to, if we just get rid of all of the Daleks, everything's gonna be fine. Like, we aren't gonna have to deal with any sort of real evil, and then you have Lesterson, who he dies, like, he's cracked mentally, and everything just sort of comes into this big conclusion where everything's bloody, like, and the actual conclusion itself is not that the Daleks are, the conclusion is basically that not only have the Daleks taken over, but they've taken over and they've decided that it's time just to it's time to kill everyone. Like, they just shoot Lesterson down, and it is great. So great, in fact, that I think it's the pinnacle of the story. Like, it really knows how to keep everything going, and the sort of thing to give the story just a good kick to end on. We really do have something good. We have something really, really good here. Like, we have an ending. And all that really saying is that I think Patrick Troughton's going to be, because this is his first story. I feel like if the quality keeps like this is where Doctor Who really can cement itself as a sci-fi show. So I'm going to give The Power of the Daleks episode 6 a 10 out of 10. That being said, we add up all the scores of each 6 episodes over the course of the story, sadly much longer than I originally intended, to give The Power of the Daleks a 10 out of 10, setting the bar very, very high for Patrick Troughton's run as the Doctor. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I really do hope that the next episode will come out much sooner than this one was, because this was just a bit of a fluke as we go into Patrick Troughton's second story, The Highlanders.